Emmanuel, God is with us. Do you know who this is? It's Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. How do you know who it is? It's a photograph. We know that this photograph of Abraham Lincoln was taken by Alexander Gardner on November 8, 1863, at his studio in Washington, D.C. Do you know who this is? It's George Washington, our first president. How do you know who it is since it's not a photograph? It's a painting. We know that this painting looks like George Washington because we know it was painted by Gilbert Stuart in Philadelphia in 1796 when George Washington posed for this painting. At Christmas time, we sing, O come, Emmanuel. Do you know what the name Emmanuel means? It means God with us. And when the Bible tells us about how God created people, it says, So God created human beings in God's own image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female, He created them. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. There were no photographs when Jesus was born, and there were no painters in Bethlehem that night. How did people decide what Jesus looked like when they show him in a picture or in a nativity set? Artists all think about Jesus as being like people they know, since we are all God's children, created in God's image, and Jesus is Emmanuel, God with us. Let's take a look at some pictures painted by different artists that show Jesus' birth in Bethlehem. Each of them thought of this event and the people in the story based upon things that were familiar to them. What do you see in each picture that you think looks more like the country where the artist lived than what it probably really looked like in Bethlehem when Jesus was born? This artist was French. See the 3 wise men bringing their gifts and the army that came with them? Do you see the castle in the background? Do you think this was supposed to be Bethlehem? This artist was Dutch. Look at the kind of hat the shepherd boy is wearing. This artist was from Spain. Look at the fancy white collar one of the wise men is wearing. This artist was from Italy. See the beautiful stone columns on the stable and the fancy carved stone manger. Artists also like to paint pictures of the baby Jesus. This picture of Mary and the baby Jesus was painted by an artist from Italy. People who are not from Europe have also created pictures of the birth of Jesus. This artist was Native American from the Apache tribe. When he thought about Mary and baby Jesus, he thought about people who looked like him. This artist was from Mexico. How can you tell that they are drawing a picture of Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus? Notice the circles of light around their heads. Artists use these halos to show that a person was holy. The person who painted this picture was from Ethiopia in Africa. And the artist who created this painting was from China. We know that Mary, Jesus' mother, was Jewish and she lived in Judea. The average Judean of the time would have likely had dark brown to black hair, brown eyes, and their skin would have been light or moderately tan. Maybe the baby Jesus looked like this. However we see Jesus, we remember that Jesus is Emmanuel. God is with us.